I started an 84-day reset on June 1st. And honestly, week 1 was not the clean aesthetic beginning I imagined. I didn't announce it properly on day 1, I didn't film every single day the way I wanted to. I posted carousels before I fully explained what this reset even was. And some days already felt messy. But there was one thing I did differently this time. I didn't give up. And maybe this is the most important part of week 1, because I think a lot of people expect a reset to look like a complete new life from day 1. I do that too. I want a perfect morning routine, a clean room, healthy meals, training, journaling, studying, posting, everything aligned. But my first week did not look like that. My first week looked like starting late, overthinking content, trying to understand what I'm even doing, and returning anyway. So this video is my honest week 1 review of my 84-day reset. What went wrong, what worked, what I've learned, and what I am changing for week 2. This is day 7 of 84. Week 1 is done. Before this, I did a 30-day reset. And I think the 30-day reset was important because it helped me start again. It gave me a reason to look at my habits, my discipline, my content, my body, my studies, and the way I was spending my time. After the 30-day ended, I realized something. 30 days helped me to start, but it didn't build the full system yet. It showed me what I wanted, but it didn't fully make me the person who lived like that automatically. And I don't want my life to be built on short motivation phases. I didn't want to only I didn't want to only change when I felt inspired. I didn't want to only show up. The beginning was exciting. I didn't want to keep restarting my life every few weeks because I never built a structure to continue. So I chose 84 days. Not because 84 days is magical and everything is going to work out, but because it's long enough to see what I can study, move, eat properly, and continue even when the reset stops feeling aesthetic. For me, this 84-day reset is not a glow-up fantasy, a time period where I can say I want to become disciplined and start collecting evidence that I'm becoming disciplined. Because the thing is, because thinking about the person I want to become is not enough. Planning is not enough, saving ideas is not enough, watching other people change is not enough. At some point, the reset has to become visible in what I actually do. This is why I started again. Not because I failed the 30-day reset, but because the 30-day reset was the beginning, and the 84-day reset is where I'm building the system. So, what went wrong in week 1? First, I didn't start clean. I started on June 1st. I didn't properly announce the reset on day 1. I had this idea in my head that after I finished the 30-day reset, I would smoothly transition into the 84-day reset and everything would make sense. That's not really what happened. I posted, yes, but I didn't fully explain it. I didn't make a clean, that's what I'm going to do now video at the beginning, and because of that I feel like I've started something before I fully introduced it, and normally this is exactly the kind of thing that would make me want to restart again. I will think, okay, I didn't start perfectly, so maybe I should wait until Monday again. Or maybe I should redo the beginning. Maybe I should wait until I have a better plan. But this is the pattern I'm trying to avoid, because real life does not always go as a clean first day. Sometimes you start in the middle of the mess. Sometimes you start before you know how to explain it. Sometimes you start then realize your structure is still incomplete. The second thing that went wrong is I want the message to be clear, aesthetic to match the meaning. And because of that, I spent too much time thinking about how to document the reset instead of simply documenting it. That's something I noticed this week. I can turn content into another form of avoidance. I can say I'm building the concept, but sometimes this is just a prettier way to say I'm not doing the thing. And I didn't want this reset to become another idea I keep polishing instead of living. The third thing that went wrong this reset is that some days my energy was low. Not every day felt like a transformation day. Some days I didn't feel good. Some days my tasks had to be smaller. Some days I had to lower the task, but not the standards, and that was uncomfortable. Because online reset content often looks very clean. It looks like waking up early, matching outfits, perfect meals, clean rooms, nice lighting, gym clips, perfect. But a real reset does not always look like that. Sometimes it looks like a messy hair, a late start, a tired body, a room that still needs cleaning, a task you don't want to do and still doing something. That was week 1. It was not clean, but it was real. But not everything went wrong. Some things actually worked. The first thing that worked is that I posted. Even when the reset wasn't perfectly explained yet, I still posted, and that mattered because of my patterns is disappearing when things are not perfect. If I don't have the perfect plan, I disappear. If I don't feel ready, I give up. If I don't feel good enough, I disappear. If the day starts badly, I give up. But this week I didn't fully do that. I posted carousels, I posted a talking it reel, I made day 5 about the first half of 2026 exposing me. I made day 6 about how a reset is not aesthetic when you're actually doing it. And both of those posts helped me understand the reset better. The second thing that worked is that I found the message. At first I thought this 84-day reset was just about becoming more disciplined, and now I think it's more specific than that. It's about becoming harder to avoid. That sentence is important to me because the problem is not always that I don't know what to do. Most of the time I know I should move, I should study, I should post, I should not disappear just because a day is messy. The problem is execution. So this reset is not about collecting more information, it's about being the kind of person who does the exact visible thing. Even when it's late, even when it's not aesthetic, even when the day is already imperfect. The third thing that worked is that I returned faster. That might be the biggest win of the week and the biggest win of the 30-day resets. Before, one messy day could easily turn into a whole period of disappearing. One bad morning could make a bad week. One missed task could make an excuse to stop tracking everything at all. One imperfect post could become silent. But this week did not become quitting. And I think this is what a reset is actually supposed to teach you, and how to never fall off. And how to never fall off, but how to come back faster. The rule of the rest of this reset is simple. Move, work or study, eat properly, post or reflect, and return. That's it. I need every day to leave evidence. And this is not realistic. A day can start late and still count. A day can have low energy or be imperfect and still count. The question is not, did this day look like a perfect version of me? Did I eat the way I supposed to? Instead of disappearing, did I return when I wanted to avoid everything? If the answer is yes, then that day counts. That is my system now. Not perfection, but proof. Because proof is harder to argue with. You can tell yourself you're failing, but if you're still showing up in some way, then the day is not empty. And this is what I want from the next 77 days. Not a perfect identity, a growing amount of evidence. For week 2, I'm changing 3 things. The first thing is that I will film proof every day, even if it's only 5 seconds. I don't need to wait until my room, outfit, hair, lighting, and energy are all aligned. I just need proof. A clip of my notebook, of my laptop, water, leaving the house, me returning. That's enough. Because the goal is not to make every day look perfect. The goal is documenting the fact that I did not give up. The second thing I'm changing is that I will stop waiting for perfect aesthetic days before I document it. This is important because waiting for the day to look good is another form of avoidance. Sometimes the most honest reset content is not the cleanest content. Sometimes it's the tired clip, the late start, the honest check-in, the messy task, small task. Proof that I can still come back. And this is what I want this reset to show. Not that I feel motivated, because motivation changes over time. Not that I feel like a new person, because most days I probably won't. Instead of, I'm measuring, did I move, did I study, did I work, eat properly, post or reflect. Did I return? That's a scoreboard. Simple, visible, and I think week 2 needs that. Less overthinking, more tracking. The biggest thing I learned from week 1 is that the reset does not begin when everything becomes perfect. It begins when you stop using imperfection as an excuse to give up. That's the difference. But maybe the reset starts before that. Maybe it starts when the day is messy and you still do the next thing. Maybe it starts when you stop restarting from shame and start continuing with structure. Week 1 did not make a complete different person out of me, but it showed me something I can return faster than before, and that matters. Because consistency is not only about never missing, it's about reducing the distance between falling off and coming back. This is what I wanted to build. Not a perfect streak, a strong return. So week 1 was messy, but I didn't disappear. And it's the point of this reset, not becoming a completely different person overnight, not making my life look perfect online, not pretending my day is cinematic, just becoming harder to avoid. This is day 7 of 84, week 1 is done, and for week 2, the goal is simple. More proof, less despair.